Well, howdy doody, it's Mark with Killer Grow with Mark, and today we are gonna make some baby back ribs on the smoker. Yeah, we're gonna put these bad boys on the pit boss. I'm gonna walk you through my steps. We'll get going and we're gonna make some delicious baby back ribs, so let's get to it. So here we've got our baby back ribs. I've already pulled them out of the package. I've patted them down with some paper towels just to dry all the, extra blood off of them and everything. And now I'm going to kind of show you what I do to prepare them to cook. So first, let's get some gloves on. All right, so first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a good look at these. I'm just going to set this one over here. Put this one up here, and I'm going to kind of just take a look at it. All right, so right away, there's like some chunks of fat right there. This doesn't look too bad. This is okay. You want to keep some of the fat on there, but if it's excessive, you do want to trim it off. If you see like some pieces, like some thin areas like this right here, that's not going to cook evenly, so I'm going to cut that off, okay? It's just not going to cook evenly. This will end up being just overcooked. I'm going to throw that in there. Okay, let's flip it around. Take a look at this end. This looks okay. Everything looks fine on here. Okay. You just want to get your finger up underneath it to get it started, okay? So there, I've got it started right there. Get your finger underneath there, okay? And start peeling it. All right. You can take a paper towel and grab it with a paper towel. I don't always need a paper towel, but anyway, see, there it is. It all came off real nice and easy. No problems there. Okay. So this rack of ribs is ready. I've got this trimmed, we've got that ready. I'll throw those over there, let's grab this one. Okay, so right off I see again, we got, I'll turn it over so you can see this, all this right here. All that is so much thinner than the rest of the rib. And this literally right here, this whole piece right here is just gonna be overcooked. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to trim this off right here. Okay. This is my process for seasoning. Okay. I start out salt. I'm using coarse ground kosher salt. You want to get, I don't know, it doesn't have to be a lot, but you want to get it all on there, okay? And then I'm going to put some pepper on here, okay? Okay. I don't really season a ton on the back. I'll get the salt and pepper on there. And then I've got chipotle, cayenne, and my rub. So I'm doing one rib with chipotle. So let's do this one right here with chipotle. Okay. And then I'm going to do this one with cayenne. Okay, and then we'll put the barbecue rub on there. I'm not going to put a bunch on the back, like I said. I'm just going to get some on here. Okay, and then it gives you a chance to get this side of the rib. Okay, just like that. When you do that, you get the rub on the end here. And then I'm going to throw some on here. Okay. That's it for the back. Okay. I'm just going to pat it down on here a little bit so it sticks to the rib. Okay. Smells good already. Okay, now I'm going to flip them over to the other side. See, I haven't touched any meat with this hand. Okay, same thing, salt, okay? Now the last thing I'm going to do is brown sugar, okay? Just going to put a little brown sugar and I'm going to kind of rub it across here. I'm not trying to rub it in, I'm just trying to spread it out, okay? And I don't want a real thick layer, I just want a thin layer of brown sugar on the top. It's a little bit of sweet to go with that little bit of heat. Alright, the ribs are all ready for the smoker. Now I'll go out there and get the smoker ready and we'll get these things going. Okay, that was how a pellet smoker starts up. This is a Pit Boss, but that's the startup for a smoker. Once that blue smoke stops, that's when you want to shut your lid and start building your heat. You always want to fire it up, leave it open until the blue smoke stops. You can tell the difference. You'll see that blue smoke, it comes out real heavy when it first fires up. And then you want to shut it down. Once that blue smoke stops, then you want to shut it down. It'll build temp real fast. Okay? Alright, so we're up to temp. This is 225 on the digital over here, a little over 225 over here on the analog. So our temperature is good. So we're going to go ahead and get these ribs on. Just FYI, just for your information, you can see the ribs. The brown sugar and the salt is going to make them sweat a little bit. Alright, so what I did was, while I was getting this ready, I let them sit there. And then just before I brought them out, I just sprinkled a little bit more of my rub on there. Okay? Just want to keep you apprised of exactly what I'm doing. Okay, let's go ahead. That is the cayenne rack, and this is the chipotle rack. Okay, let's go. I got my apple cider vinegar, apple cider mixture here ready to go, and then we're just going to let them go. So we'll let them sit and cook for about an hour, and then we'll come back out. Right, so it's been a little bit over an hour, and I'm going to check them and spray them down with some my spray. But just take a look at them. They've been running, you know, around 220, 225 most of the time. It looks good. All I'm gonna do, give them a little spray. that's it. Close them back up. Let that pit boss do its job. But everything looks good. All right, so it's been 5 hours. 5 hours. I've been cooking them at right around 220 to 230, right in there for 5 hours. The meat started to pull away from the bone a little bit, and now I'm going to wrap them up in foil, and I'll show you how I do that. I do it a couple of different ways. I'm going to do it with barbecue sauce this time. I don't generally do that. I usually use apple juice, but this time I'm going to use barbecue sauce, and I'll show you how I go about it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what I do is, first things first, I take barbecue sauce, whatever you got, whatever you like. This isn't what I usually use, but this will work right now. All right, I take and I put some barbecue sauce down in the foil, and then I grab my rib, and I just lay them down on the barbecue sauce like that. And then I'll wrap them up. I use 2 layers of foil. I use a big sheet and then a smaller sheet, just to make sure that, you know, we don't poke holes through, because the bones are sticking out, okay? And you don't have to wrap them up super tight. Just get them wrapped up good, okay? Normally, I would pour apple juice down inside the foil. I'm going to give them about 30 to 45 more minutes in the smoker at 225 degrees, and then we're going to pull them off. All right, so 30 minutes has passed, plus I took them out of the smoker, and I let them rest for a few minutes, and I just got one of them out of the foil, and it looks fantastic. So let's take a look. All right, here we go. Here we have our rib, a rack of ribs. You can see the bones. You can see the meat is definitely pulled back away from the bones, and that is when you see the meat pulling back, that's the tail. That's your sign right there. See how I don't know how well you can see that the meat has pulled back from the bones. Let me lift them up here a little bit so you can see it better. But right here you can see the meat definitely pulled back away from the bones. And that's how you know when they're done. Generally, the way I cook ribs, I do not ever take temp. I will watch, and as soon as I see the meat starting to pull away from the bones, that's when I'll pull them out, wrap them up. It's called the Texas cheat. Basically, you're steaming them, and honest, to be absolutely 100% honest, you don't have to finish them off in the foil on your smoker or your grill or whatever. You could pop them in the oven at 225 degrees and finish them off for your 30 minutes or to an hour in there. The smoker's going, so why fire up the oven, right? I'll just finish them off in the smoker, but you could do it in your oven. So here we are. I don't know if how well you guys can see them. They look fantastic. So let's go ahead and cut into the ribs. We'll cut one right out of the middle here. Okay. Here we go. What do you think? It's a pretty nice looking rib. That is it. That is a real nice looking rib. I'm pretty proud of that. Here, I'll give you a better look. Okay, what do you think? What do you think of that? We'll go ahead and we'll cut through a few more here. Generally speaking, when I cut the ribs, I turn them upside down and then you can see the bones. Sometimes I'll cut them like this from the side. Just depends on what you're more comfortable with, but it all works. Okay, flip these over here real quick. Cut a few of these down. Okay, there we go. There's our ribs. Just, I don't know. Look at that. Look at that. That right there is a beautiful rib. Okay? All right, well, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am definitely ready to take a bite out of one of these ribs. So, I'm just going to pick this one right here, and we'll see how it is, okay? This looks delicious, though. It's delicious. This is the chipotle rack. Oh my goodness gracious. That's good. One more bite. The meat just comes right off the bone. They're perfectly done. Snack. Super moist. I don't know if you can see this, but give a little squeeze. If you can see the moisture in that. Super moist. Super tender. Great flavor. That is the delicious rib. My only regret is that y'all aren't here to enjoy these with me. That's good. There you go, babe. That is a delicious rib. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed watching my video. If you have any questions, I've been cooking ribs, wow, over 20 years I've been cooking ribs. And they are by far my favorite thing to cook in a smoker. And I can't say I've perfected ribs, but they're pretty doggone good. And please try this. Do the steps that I did. And I guarantee you'll have results like this, okay? Their ribs are super easy to make. They're super easy to make, and they're super easy to make tender. That Texas cheat, they call it, wrapping in the foil, basically kind of steams and locks some moisture into the meat. Makes them just juicy. And I only 30 minutes, all right? But the other trick to keeping them moist is, when you check them once an hour, if it looks like they're starting to dry out, give them a spritz. You can spray them with just plain water. I prefer to use the apple cider vinegar 50-50 mixture, because it does give it one extra layer of flavor on top of what we put on there. And it really makes them pop. And they're just amazingly delicious. So try them. I hope you love them. Please let me know if you try this and leave me a comment. Let me know how yours turned out. And while you're at it, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more foods, all kinds of foods. I cook all kinds of stuff. I don't just do barbecue. I do all kinds of food. So subscribe so you can keep up with the videos that I will upload, whatever. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. Bye.